Hello everybody and welcome to another Guild Wars 2 video. My name is JD and today we are going to be looking at the lore behind the elite specialization Holosmith. We're going to be talking to Baraz Sharifi. I hope I'm saying that right. And he is the elite specialization NPC for the Holosmith. He is located in the Crystal Oasis in the Amnoon Farms area, kind of south of that. So you can easily find him. He's just there sitting, minding his own business, and hopefully he can give us some information on the Holosmith. So it says, "Are you looking at my Photon Forge? Nice, isn't it? You've got an eye for quality technology. Ever met a Holosmith? A what? A Holosmith. Our boundary-pushing feats of invention and engineering have allowed us to harness the power of the sun as a weapon. Impressive, right? Well, how did you manage to do that? Alonians have always had a strong relationship with the sun. Then we met the Zephyrites and everything just clicked." The Zephyrites? "Those magic crystals of theirs are a key component in our Photon Forge. It's a good thing they've been so willing to trade with us." I have another question. So this is actually really interesting, and after this conversation, guys, we're gonna go into kind of some thoughts here. What kinds of weapons does a Holosmith use? Well, that's an easy one. Swords. Nothing else really balances speed, precision, and power the way swords do. So we always design with swords in mind. Tell me about your Photon Forge. The Photon Forge allows me to manifest tools made of pure light energy. Sunlight is filtered through crystals and the excess heat is pulled off to a separate storage unit. Excess heat? Generating a solid weapon out of light generates a massive amount of heat. It would destroy the forge if it was all focused in one point, so we store it separately and release it over time. Well, what happens if you have too much heat? The forge would almost certainly explode. Some Holosmiths build in subsystems to use the runoff heat, but I'd rather just let the tool cool down normally. I happen to like my eyebrows. His eyebrows are okay. I have another question. Shouldn't you be inside at a workbench somewhere? I take frequent breaks for my health. Eye strain and cramped fingers are no laughing matter. Perils of the trade, I'm afraid. Is that how you make your living as a Holosmith? Yep. You'll usually find us Holosmiths working to improve productivity around large cities. Some ply their trade to smaller villages, but it doesn't pay well. So Baraz says something really interesting. He says that they get their crystals from the Zephyrites. The Zephyrites trade with them and they use Zephyrite crystals in order to power their Photon Forge, or to filter. They said they get the crystals to filter the sun, which allows them to power the Photon Forge. So this is how my headcanon works for this. We know that Glint originally appointed dwarves to protect her legacy. They called this order the Dwarven Brotherhood. After the Dwarven transformation, humans, specifically Alonans and Canthans, took on this mantle, took on this responsibility, and formed what is the people group known as the Zephyrites. After Glint is killed by Kralkatorrik, the Zephyrites go to the location of Glint's death, hoping to prevent the magic imbued within it from falling into the wrong hands, and find A, Glint's legacy, which we know to be Aurene, and B, 3 forms of magic that are stored in crystals recovered from Glint's corpse. These crystals contain aspects of wind, aspects of lightning, and aspects of the sun. They use these aspects to build their home and begin studying them for over many years. They begin trading goods and parts of these crystals with outsiders, including overeager engineers like Mr. Baraz here, who use the crystals to construct a device, the Photon Forge, which grants them the ability to control the power of the crystals containing aspects of the sun, giving them the light magic abilities we see in Holosmith skills today. Oh, I love that story. That to me is a much cooler story, and I think that's what the devs are implying here. I love how the Holosmiths are connected to the Alolan culture, the Crystal Desert itself, and the story in such an interesting and beautiful way. And I don't think a lot of players really realize or appreciate just how much thought I think the devs put into this particular elite specialization. So, one question I have, and I'm sure many of you have, is well, why use sun crystals? And Baraz says himself in the dialogue that Alonans have a strong connection to the sun, right? Alona itself is called the land of the golden sun. Their champions are called the sun spears. For some reason, the sun has significance to the Alonan people, and I think that being an Alonan engineer, you would choose to use a sun crystal versus, say, a crystal of wind or a crystal of lightning because you've grown up to revere the sun. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this little piece of lore about the Holosmith. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you have an amazing, amazing day and are having a great time in Path of Fire. Peace, guys.